Alright, good day. What's today? It's May 24th on a Friday. Just walking around doing my thing. As I'm walking, I'm gonna have the conversation. Oh yeah, this thing is dying. There was algae in the pool and it's being destroyed. Look like it, I don't know. Anyway, let's have the conversation. We're gonna conversate about what I've learned since doing this continuous blood monitoring, you know, the sensor that I have. Let's keep walking. All right. Just walking around a bit. What I got to say might, it might hurt some feelings, but I'll just say this. These are my opinions, and I am not a doctor. I'm in the medical field, but I'm not a doctor, and I'm definitely not your doctor, okay? So, do your own research, do what you gotta do. I'm just telling y'all my experience and my discoveries. So, I've been wearing this sensor since early March. And I'm paying for it on a monthly. It comes with an app, so it monitors your glucose every 15 minutes. So I see what I eat, how it affects my glucose, the proportions, the combinations, right? And you write down in the app what you ate, what time you ate, and the other things you've done, like exercise, right? So, this is what I noticed and why I couldn't lose the weight before. And I, within, 2 months, I've dropped off a considerable amount of weight by being conscious of how much I ate and what I ate. So, for me, I've noticed that the foods I grew up on that was part of my culture, aka slave food, that shit ain't good for me. Okay? And what's slave food? Slave food is that comfort food of many Caribbean and African American, okay? The high carbs of plantains, rice and peas, food with so much salt and sugar, that's not good for me. Also, we're gonna have to turn around soon because they're doing their thing. Also, the amount of food that I was eating. You know, growing up, you ate what was in front of you, and they put down a lot of food. And I was always told, you better eat. Eat what's on your plate, even by my older sister. So all of that contributes to eating, overeating. And it was cool when I was younger, right? Because I was always a skinny chick. Until 39, that 39 hit, and I started gaining weight. And I thought it was cute. Here I am. I got some breasts, it's filling out, all that good stuff. But little did I know that diabetes, type 2 diabetes, was forming, right? So, all this to say, the background, all this to say, this high carb foods like plantains, been eating it basically all my life. It's a delicacy for some. It was a staple for me. And I had to learn that that's not something I could eat every day, right? So now I barely eat that stuff. I don't eat bananas, So, all these staples and stuff, like a certain soup called sancocho. Man, you think I eat? Look, once in a blue moon, I will have that. Because of the effects of all that carbs, the potatoes, right? You got to think about that stuff. So, a lot of times, we have these foods because that is what we're used to. But you don't realize, as we get older, our body cannot process the foods like it used to. Our metabolism slows down, our metabolism changes. I'm gonna sit here for a second. Yeah, so we don't realize those things. So I've learned that the foods that I used to eat, the Caribbean food, the Haitian, the Jamaican food, unfortunately, the Trini food, it run up my glucose. That's what's keeping my A1C high. So now I have to eat it sparingly. So I had some Trini food yesterday, and I think day before that, and I noticed my glucose was high. So, I mean, I hate to say it, but if you're eating a certain way, and you just got to change, even though that's your culture, and you wonder why so many Caribbeans or whatever have diabetes. Type 2 diabetes. See, when I talk about diabetes, I want you to know I only talk about type 2. I'm not talking about type 1, right? So I don't use it interchangeably. I don't talk about type 1. I'm talking about type 2. And again, this does not constitute advice. I'm not a doctor, and I'm damn well not your doctor. I'm just talking about my experience. I don't even want to sit here. Yuck. Bench is dirty. Yeah, so it's a shame, and yes, it does take for one to change their mentality towards their own food and their own culture. And I'm not trying to put down the Caribbean culture or the African American culture, but I'm just saying, for me, the way foods are originally cooked, it's not good for me, okay? High in carbs, high in sugar, high in salt, okay? And I call it slave food because, you know, our African ancestors, those that were enslaved, were brought to the Americas, and that was fine when you're working in the fields. You know, you're tolling in the fields. You need that high carbs. However, we're not in the fields anymore, so it's no good for you. So my thing is, you know, if you want to be healthy and you see that it does affect you, these types of foods affect you, if you can't quit right away, what you need to do, can I go this way? Yeah, I'm gonna go this way. How you doing? Yeah, what you need to do is decrease the amount of food you have, okay? So whether you cook it or if you go out to a restaurant and you have these Caribbean food, you know they are going to traditionally give you a lot of on your plate, right? So what you do, you have it to go, and you got to have discipline and only eat half of the rice, or maybe not even half. You might have to eat 1/4 of the food that's there. Yep. What you gotta do. You know, a lot of times these Caribbean restaurants, they don't even give you salads, right? They don't give you roughage. They give you the meat and the veggies. And if you have veggies, it has meat in it with sauce, with salt, and sugar. Remember, you're not cooking that at home. You're eating out. So, at home, at least you can modify it. So when you're out, at least you have to have discipline and eat less. Yep. If you know you don't have that discipline, then honey, don't even eat out. If you want to lower, you know, your sugar load. Yep. Ooh, yep, but yeah, that's what's going on, y'all. That is what's going on. Okay. So, that's what I've noticed. I know it's a lot of noise they're doing in the yard right now. Let me keep walking. Oh, so I'm going this way. So I'm getting my walk in early. Let me turn down this way. I'll tell you, it feels great that I don't even have to cut the lawn, okay? I love it. Yeah. So yeah, at least for me, having this sensor and watching the glucose, I was able to make adjustments, and that's what allowed me to lose the weight naturally. He's coming through over here. But anyway, yep, that's what I had to do, y'all. And with that, because I dropped off the weight by eating less, my hemoglobin A1C, which is a diabetic monitor for 3 months, it has decreased from November 2023 of 6.5, and as of April 29th, 2024 is 6.0. So my goal is, by God willing, I live to see November 2024. My goal is to have my A1C under 5.7. That's when under 5.7 you're not considered diabetic. So for me, I'm just keeping it real. Type 2 diabetes, as far as I'm concerned, is a gluttonous disease. Okay? It's a disease which your metabolism it just can't process the food anymore. Hey, fine. How are you? Yeah. So to me, it's a gluttonous disease. And why do I say it's a gluttonous disease? Because if you know that as you get older, or maybe not even get older, if you know, well, let me just say, you get older, your metabolism change, right? So that means it's slow down. It's slowing down. It's not processing food like it used to, right? Then you're going to put on the pounds. So if you don't want to put on the pounds, you got to eat less. Now, I must tell y'all something. The last assignment I had, which is a travel assignment as a clinical lab, was about this time, April, May of 2022, right? And while I was on assignment, hey, when I wasn't at work, in the morning I walked around. On the weekends, it was a 6-week assignment, mind you. Weekends, I went to the Y. You know, I exercised. I thought I was eating right. Now, they did not have a stove at the hotel I was staying, right? Because those hotels that have a kitchenette, I found very expensive, and I wanted to be as close to the hospital as possible so I could just get up and basically roll over there. Anyway, I was eating at, I don't know, some place next door to the hotel. Mind you, I was having salads, like chicken salads, and I was eating hotel food and the hospital food, because, you know, they serve for the public. Honey, my A1C was 6.8 when I came back and got my blood tested. 6.8. Okay, so that is diabetic. And I was like, damn. I was exercising, but this is the thing. Even though I was exercising, it's mainly about what you consume, what you put in your mouth, okay? And though I was eating salads, I didn't prepare the salad, right? So who knows what they were putting in there? And also, when I stayed at the local hotel in Tampa, it was next to a Wendy's. So I was moseying on over there, eating their prepared salads and having their shakes, right? Which is sweet. Yeah, I got addicted to that strawberry shake that year. So all of that, even though I was exercising, I was doing my walks like I'm doing now, it affected me. Okay, so in hindsight, you know, I got it down, you know, from 6.8, and then I did get it down to last year, 6.5, right? November of 2023, 6.5. And this year, like I said, as of April 2024, is 6.0, right? And I do believe that this sensor is a big help. Now, I'm not going to tell you which sensor I got. Why? Because, unfortunately, the way American society is, people get paid for promotions. So I'm not going to promote any certain glucose monitoring, okay? You need to do your due diligence, and you need to find out. You do your research. You talk to your doctor, okay? If you're type 2 diabetic, or even if, you know, you just want a better control of your health, okay? So you do that. I'm not telling you what brand or whatever, because, baby, they're not paying me. As I tell y'all, I've been on here 4 years. I'm not getting paid. This is a hobby to me. Now, if you want to send money, that's cool, that's nice, but it's not required. This is about, number one, it's a hobby. It's an outlet for me. And also, I just want people to do well. Because, hey, there's a Yoruba saying, honey, let me tell y'all. Those who know don't die like those who don't know. Okay? So, empower yourself and move forward. Now, in hindsight, what are some things that I know now I didn't know then that I would have changed? If I would have had this sensor back when I was doing the travel lab, if I was still continuing with the travel, or if I decide to still stay in it and do it, I would make sure I would stay in a hotel that has a kitchenette in my place, right? Because I need to have more control of the foods I'm eating. When you eat out, yeah, they could put the ingredients, they could put the calories, but they're not telling you how much salt, how much sugar they're putting in. As a matter of fact, they don't even tell you that they're putting sugar in their dressing or in their spaghetti sauce. See, when I grew up, my people didn't put sugar in the spaghetti sauce, okay? But come to find out, a lot of people do. So you can't even eat from your friends without asking them what they put in there. And a lot of people will lie to you and roll their eyes and say, who do you think you are? And tell you whatever. Because no one is going to care about your health more than you. So, even when traveling, you got to think about all of this stuff, you know, when you're traveling. All I can say is, yeah, eat more salads, eat organic if you can, eat fish, meats, but don't eat the rice. Be careful even with certain vegetables. Keep away from the corn, you know. That's all I could say. You know, you got to take control of your health. We have to take control of our health. And that includes what's in our foods. I'm Omonike. Peace.